Welcome to the first ever OK Awards, our award show for the best of WWE in 2024. I'm Dr. OK and I'll be your host, along with the SportsZu, who inexplicably made me get dressed up for this occasion. So let's give a sound double not okay for that decision. Come on out, SportsZu. That's quite a welcome for the guy that lets you on his channel and use all of the equipment and studio space. Anyway, let's get to this. The first ever category for the OKs will be the male and female breakthrough superstars of the year. The only restriction here is that the breakthrough star cannot be a rookie, as they will have their own separate category. Without further ado, the nominees for the male breakthrough star are Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. And our first winner is main event, Jey Uso. Jey's already a Hall of Famer, but this was the year that he soared to new heights as a single star, yeeting all around the globe to the delight of everyone. Roman Reigns may have already called him main event, but that was probably more of a tactic to keep him in line than what he truly believed. Doc, did you write that specific line? Anyways, but now Jey has become a singles champion by winning the IC title earlier in the year, and maybe next year he'll use the Uso splash all the way to the World Heavyweight title. Let's switch on over to the women's female breakthrough star of the year, and the nominees are Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, Michin, and Zoe Stark. And the OK goes to Chelsea Green. Chelsea didn't find a lot of success in the ring throughout most of the year, but she always finds a way to make a lot out of the little time that she was given. But even in defeat, she had some of the most memorable moments of 2024, like when she nearly grabbed the Money in the Bank briefcase, but got pushed off the ladder through 2 tables. And later she got dumped into a dumpster in a dumpster match that caused her to stink for weeks. But she persevered and came out on top as your first ever Women's United States Champion. So while she paints the town red, white, and green, she can also be the first ever female breakthrough superstar. I'm not sure if anyone's broken through with a 7-15 record on the year, but I guess there's no arguing that she's the only women's US title holder in history. So my first award is the Attitude Adjustment of the Year for the superstar who seemingly made a change to their persona, and it paid off for the better. So the nominees are Bayley, Chad Gable, Kevin Owens, and Rhea Ripley. And the winner is Kevin Owens. We know that KO is right. How could Cody Rhodes team up with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood after his supposed friend KO fought him for almost 4 years and in more matches than anyone else? KO had the right to confront and challenge Rhodes after that, and he should have won the undisputed WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event if not for Rhodes pulling a Reigns and knocking out 2 refs and using a chair on a crossroads after he had already been pinned for about 10 seconds off of a stunner. KO now rightfully wears the Winged Eagle title and is destined to soon be champion. Our next award is for the best beyond the mat moment for best single moment not directly tied to a match. You know, the whole second part of each Dr. OK show video. The nominees are The Rock whips Cody Rhodes, The Wyatt Six bloody debut, The New Day kicks out Big E, and Seth Rollins and CM Punk sling arrows on the final Raw. Before I announce the winner, I want to say that I wanted to include Liv nicely asking Dom for those 3 words she wanted to hear, but when she said he hated her, Rhea licked him in the ring. That was Double OK, but of course the SportsZu is a bummer and he didn't let me include it. Anyways, let's get to the award. It goes to The Rock Whips Cody Rhodes. What a way to lead into WrestleMania on the final Raw before the show, with The Rock promising to make Rhodes bleed and hand a bloody belt over to Mama Rhodes. And with it raining while The Rock was making good on his promise, slamming Rhodes up against the trailer and smearing the blood on that very, very white belt. Chef's kiss for that. Well, no one could do those categories other than you, Doc. Anyways, we have a couple of categories up next for some of those WWE talents who excel at something other than wrestling. So up next is our OK for Best Comedic Performance. The nominees are Chelsea Green, Pretty Deadly, R-Truth, and The Miz. And the winner is the national treasure himself, R-Truth. Now, I'm not sure whether anything Truth does is intentional or not, but it's certainly almost always entertaining. His entire time with the Judgment Day was pure gold, and I can't believe they didn't want him after all of the money that he was making them from merch. And he did win that match against JD McDonough, so he should be in the group. And of course, he even found a way to win tag gold with the Awesome Truth, and he now still can't figure out the difference between Pete Dunne and Butch. What a year. Our next category is for Best Performance in a non-wrestling role. This could be anyone from caterers to those WWE officials who keep getting knocked out of the way during brawls, but it certainly won't be any of the many blind referees that somehow still are employed. But I think you'll get the drift. The nominees are Michael Cole, Nick Aldis, Samantha Irvin, and either Kathy Kelly or Jackie Redmond. We didn't want any arguments, so we just decided to include both of them. And the winner is Michael Cole. Let's give the future Hall of Famer his due. He seems to be a brand new man on the mic in the past year plus. I can't possibly imagine what the difference would be there, but regardless, he's thriving, and it doesn't even matter who his partner is at any given moment, so we can't wait to hear his next call of the next WrestleMania main event. I know you love hockey, so you can take Jackie, and I will happily go with Kathy. So our next category is for Iron Man and Iron Woman of the Year. While this does not necessarily just mean having the most matches in 2024, that is certainly a huge part of it. In addition, being around when not having a match is also a factor, as well as the quality and variety of those matches. So with that, let's get to our nominees for Iron Woman of the Year. The nominees are Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. And the OK goes to Bianca Belair. Bianca led all superstars, male or female, with 37 televised matches. And after having been a single star throughout her entire time in WWE, she smartly joined up with Jade Cargill to dominate the tag team division, and she's still undefeated in traditional tags at 14-0 with the last win with Naomi just a couple weeks ago. On top of that, she was still plenty good in singles competition, going 8-2 in one-on-one matches, so Bianca can simply do it all, do it more, and do it better, winning over 75% of her matches, which is the second best of any female with at least 10 matches, behind only her partner, Jade Cargill. And for the men, the nominees are Damian Priest, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Sami Zayn. And the winner is Damian Priest. After a whopping 51 televised matches in 2023, he followed that up with another 31 TV matches in 2024, which was still good for a fatal four-way tie for first place. He walked into the year as a tag team champion, and when he lost at WrestleMania, the very next day he became the world heavyweight champion by cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase. And whether he was a part of the Judgment Day or fighting against them, he was always there to make an impact on Monday Night Raw. Lots of strong choices in a crowded category there, so up next will be the Comeback Superstar of the Year, and the only requirement here to be eligible is that the wrestler must have missed at least 6 months straight due to injury or to have returned from outside the company. So with that, the nominees are Andrade, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and The Rock. And the winner is Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley injured Liv last July, so when Liv returned as the surprise entrant number 30 at the Royal Rumble, she had been out of the ring for just over 6 months. But after a few second place finishes, the Liv Morgan revenge tour really hit full stride after taking out Rhea Ripley and defeating Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. So once she recovered from that injury, we had no choice but to watch her in 2024. And in our even stranger category, it's our best before and after the bell superstar. Some would just have had a category for best on the mic, and that's certainly a big part of this category, but we wanted to include all of the other moments that get overlooked, like backstage segments and interviews, pre-tape vignettes, brawls around the arena, helping out for saving a friend, or pretty much anything that is not from bell to bell. So with that, the nominees are CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Liv Morgan. And the OK goes to CM Punk. So how many other people could be out of the WWE for 10 years, get injured after one match, miss 6 months due to that injury, and still be able to disrupt multiple title matches and be in the running for the best feud and the best match of the year? The answer is no other people, and I guess, at least in a way, that does indeed make him the best in the world. So Punk truly is one of a kind, and he had to do it without having many matches this entire year, and he delivered in the most emphatic way possible. All right, lots of good choices there, SportsZu. I'm not going to argue with any of those. So let's get to our next category, which is a big one, the female and male matches of the year. We don't do star ratings here, but it's safe to say that all of the finalists here would be getting double OKs. So the nominees for female match of the year are, in chronological order, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley on night 1 of WrestleMania, Io Sky versus Bayley on night 2 of WrestleMania, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring, and Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. So the winner is, well, I apologize for the other 3 women who each had 2 matches, because your winner is Io Sky versus Bayley. After Kairi Sane and Asuka joined Damage Control, they had been speaking Japanese behind her back and treating their founder and leader very poorly, even telling her not to go to the ring during certain matches. But Bayley soldiered on anyways and won the Royal Rumble, breaking the record for the most time in the match. But Bayley knew something was off and beat them to the punch with a lead pipe and officially challenged Io at WrestleMania. And Damage Control continued their mind games, and when it finally came time for the match, both parties were ready, and Io lived up to being the genius of the sky, soaring and flipping and even moonsaulting through the air on so many occasions, and most impressively, miraculously flipped out of a rose plant to stay in the match. But when it was all said and done, Bayley did not come this far to only come this far, as she landed an elbow drop and a rose plant to vanquish her former friend. And the nominees for male match of the year are Gunther versus Sami Zayn on night 1 of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes on night 2 of WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood, and lastly, Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed in that last Monster Standing match on the September 30th edition of Monday Night Raw. And the OK goes to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Maybe in the last 9 years, Punk versus McIntyre would have won this one, but when you finally finish the story, this has to be the winner. I can only say so many times how fraudulent Roman Reigns' 1,316-day title reign was, but it seemed like he had an iron grip on it with the Bloodline Rules match after he and The Rock defeated Rhodes and Rollins the night before. So with the Bloodline's interference perfectly legal and certainly expected, it looked like an insurmountable mountain to climb. And they certainly made it difficult for him with Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and The Rock joining the fray. But Rhodes ended up having Jey Uso, John Cena, and even The Undertaker in his corner. But after Reigns just couldn't help himself and delivered a chair shot to Seth Rollins dressed in Shield tactical gear, instead of Cody Rhodes, Cody took Reigns to the Crossroads 3 straight times to free us all of the tyranny of Roman Reigns and at least get us 4 months of blissful existence while he pouted on the couch. Well, there's the main event of night 1 of our WrestleMania, the OK Awards. We'll be back tomorrow for part 2 when we finish our story for 2024. But if you missed the OK question of the week about my SmackDown Live experience with a Wyatt family reunion of sorts, be sure to go right on over here to check that out. And then make sure to come back tomorrow for part 2 of The OKs.